So if anybody has been watching Solana, they saw it flatline yesterday. And there's a reason for it. And I think I know what the reason for it is. So I was talking about Jito bundling and having an automated computer. Basically, there's a way to guarantee that you earn on the pump if you're in before somebody else, of course, So instead of basing it on the actual value of the token when you pull out, base it on the trade. So if there's a trade that's done and somebody buys into it, you can assume that the liquidity builds up and there's more liquidity to pull from. So what I think these Jito bundlers are doing now is they're pulling immediately. They don't even wait for like a change in the price. They're just waiting for somebody to buy in, and then there's more liquidity, and then when they pull out, it's more successful. So that's interesting, right? They could even put the condition to the price of how much they bought the token for, but not necessarily the value that they hold. Because many of these automated systems are basing it on how much value is actually there. Now, if you can assume before that value could be put there, what that value could add when that trade is made, and just do it automatically when somebody buys into it, then you win. You automatically win on that next trade. Now, if somebody throws in, $100,000 or something, and that's the first buy, and then if somebody threw in a penny, that's a big difference, yeah. And with the penny, there's going to be less liquidity, and you'll lose. You'll lose the whole concept of trading in or trading out as soon as somebody trades in. But how often is that going to happen? You see what I mean? So if you're only pulling out 50 cents each time, and somebody throws in $1 of liquidity, then okay, you see? Because the price of a token doesn't always match the actual liquidity that's available. So if somebody throws in 15 grand on a token, yeah, it's going to say it's worth 50 grand, but in total. And it's not the amount of liquidity that's actually in there. Sometimes it can be that much liquidity, and that's usually when it's multiple different holders holding on to it, because you have, the person had their blinker on. I don't know what they're complaining about. You heard that beeping? So yeah, that was pretty much the video. I would rewind. If you came to this point and you're still watching, rewind to the beginning, and I just go right through it and explain it better from the actual intro. But yeah, after looking at the charts again and seeing that Solana is going through another dip, but it's not a hard dip. Yesterday it was flatlining. Well, I think that these Jito bundlers figured out the secret. And I'd like my audience to also know what that secret is, considering that you guys actually should, if you're trading, benefit before the evil cabal. So if you're setting up a Jito bundle, basically set it up to where if somebody buys into it, pull out 50 cents automatically. If you're selling on the pump, that way you're pulling from liquidity immediately. You're pulling half their liquidity immediately after they pull out. Do you set a priority amount? No, that's the trick. So you don't put priority fees to it. That way it only buys, or it only sells for the cheapest amount. So you're always pulling out that liquidity and not paying back into it. But I thought I'd do that while I'm sitting here waiting on an order. I'm sitting here waiting, and it's been probably about a half an hour, and I'm bored. Somebody make a McDonald's order, I guess, right? Let's see what time it is. What time is it? It's 11:10. Yeah, it's like right around lunchtime. I should be getting like tons of orders. But I'm hoping to get an order before it starts raining. It says 40% precipitation. I'm banking on the fact that I don't just randomly start dumping on me. You can see the clouds. You can see up my nose too, probably. Sorry about that. Rude. But yeah, that was a cool live stream we had earlier. That was what, we got 1,100 on that. I got 20 subs on that. Super cool. We had a really long discussion, but this is about the cryptos. This one's about cryptos. you guys join now, rewind to the beginning of the video and I explain it 100% through, right the first time. Let's see. Oh, if you guys want to join the Telegram channel, go ahead and join at t.me/volatile legacy. Okay, we get it. Crypto's a rug pull, pyramid scheme. No, it's not necessarily. Like, you can turn it into a growth scheme, just like the same way that the US dollar has grown, gold has grown, everything's grown in value at one point, and maybe it's falling now, but you know, everything has grown in value before it, you know, lost value. And so here's the thing is that if you build a community, I promoted the Black Bull on my potential prospects channel on Telegram. And I don't usually like promote the trending tokens. Wait, it's a technology. You're thinking of like, you know, the pump fund interface and stuff, but it's a technology. If you build, here's the thing is that you can make a lot of money on there, but you got to know what the scam is to stay away from the scam. So here's the thing is that a lot of the tokens, like 90% or 80% of the tokens that I've interacted with in the last 2 weeks have been scams, have been like, okay, it's rugged, somebody's already in it earlier, and they're just going to keep, you know, draining whatever you put in, right? But what I'm thinking is that all the Jito bundlers are starting to fight each other for that profit because there's less new money getting dumped in. So you can profit off that by knowing what the hell they're doing, and you could probably do what they're doing. Instead of basing it on the value that you're pulling out, you base it on the actual price that the next person buys into it for. And even if it's 10 cents and you lost maybe, you know, 10 cents on that trade, you're in it, you're taking out 50 cents in profits. If you set it up right. So if you set it up based on not the value that you're pulling out, but on if somebody sells, or if somebody buys into it, then you sell immediately after. It seems like you would never earn any money, but if you set it up something like that, then you'll get a flat line. And I think that's what we saw in Solana yesterday. So I think that's how stable coins work. As soon as somebody buys in, it's like, okay, it's going to buy, it's going to sell a certain amount. And then if somebody sells, buys in a certain amount. That's called DCA, of course. But if you set it up right to where you're not thinking emotionally, you're thinking logically about the trade, and you sell just like a stable coin as soon as somebody buys in, rather than based on the value that the token is, you would base it on just the actual interaction. So you would bypass any sort of like priority fee, BS, or any of that, and you would just put it on the lowest setting. So you pay for priority fee 0.0001 Solana, and you do that for the priority fee and the other fee, the tip fee. I think it's tip fee or something else. There's two different types of fees that you can set. Anyways, if you have it set to 0 and you're pulling out like, I don't know if it's 50 cents. I don't know if that's the magic number, but you know, you could pull out, somebody throws in $1, you're pulling out 50 cents of liquidity each trade. So there's a way to do this, and I think that's what I witnessed yesterday on Solana. Yesterday on Solana, we saw a literal flat line. If you looked at the chart, it was like it was dead. You know, it was like somebody on, you know, anyways. Now, it was $71 yesterday. Now it's $73. It pumped back up. But it looks to be a little bit of a flat line. I think the Jito bundlers have figured it out. That's how a stable coin works. But it's like barely stable. It's going to, instead of going, it's going to go like barely move. So it's going to go more in a line. I saw that on CashCat. If you watch the prediction market on CashCat, it barely dumps. It barely does any you know, movements like that. It does just a straight line almost. Because people are 100 times leveraged. Go back to the 1930s, you're seeing the same thing happen, 100x leverage. Just before the crash. But go back to the beginning of the video if you want to rehear that the right way the first time. Basically, I started the video right off with that as an introduction, and it was right on point. It was after just checking in on Solana. I was like, oh, I see what it's doing. doing more of like a cash cat 100x prediction market sort of movement. Because the prediction markets, it's based on nobody's actually interacting with the token, so there's less volatility. It's really not even about the token at all. So when you're doing 100x leverage, you're not buying into the token, you're predicting. And maybe some of that profit that's gained from the prediction market itself ends up being placed to the actual value of the token. Yeah, if you guys don't know anything about crypto, basically it's going to go through one ear out the other. It's going to be like an alien is speaking to you. But one day, if you understood crypto, you'd understand exactly what I'm talking about. The geo bundling is basically you have a program that says do all these tasks in a row. If this happens, then that. If that happens, then this. If this and that happens, then this. It's just code. So basically, if you understand crypto, then you understand what I'm talking about. If you don't understand crypto, this sounds like an alien's speaking to you. But basically, what we're seeing is right now Solana being treated as a prediction market rather than an actual token that's being interacted with. And I was blown away to see that yesterday. No volatility, it was a flat. So, but this video is all about the cryptos. We're going to talk about that for a minute. Like I said the other day, I had an apology for the Ansem community. You guys, by the way, if you want to find me on Pump Fun and see, you can even see the last call out that I made, see what this is all about. You can just make a Pump Fun account, just follow people and watch. You don't have to invest at all. You don't need money to go and watch Pump Fun. Pump Fun is a social network. It's just like this, except you're going to see a lot of scammers around and you're not going to even know that they're scammers. But you can follow me, and if I go live, then you'd be there for that live, because I go live on Pump Fun. Yeah, it's cloudy. It could rain at any moment. I'm sitting here like, I hope that DoorDash gives me a freaking order before it rains. I'm right next to a store. I'm right in the spot where I usually can get an order. That's what I'd be doing in a vehicle too. But yeah, so basically it looks like the market is changing quite a bit, and it's changing into a more mature Solana network. But that was unexpected. I thought it was going to keep going to trash. I thought it was going to get dumped. Because you got a bunch of kids out there. They're like 20-year-olds, just all trading. They don't think of the long term. They're thinking of, how do I make money today, get that 500, and then pay my studio, like my luxury studio apartment, because that's what they're stuck in. Kind of sucks, man. I bet sitting in a building, being stuck like that, like being stuck all the way up, floors high, and I wouldn't even want to live in that situation. I'd be like, I'm moving out. I'm going to the countryside, man. I don't know how you could live in a building like that, man. I have a feeling there's a lot of people that are stuck in that situation, and they're like, how do I get out? I think you just need to get out, man. Just move, You can enjoy it for a little bit, but man, you don't want to be in the city like when shit hits the fan. Scary shit. Excuse my language, by the way. I get a little anxiety when I think about it. Like living in a huge building like that, no thanks. I don't know how people could chance that. I haven't checked back in on Venezuela, but that's such a tragedy, what happened over there. But, you look at those countries, they use crypto. How do they use crypto? They feed their village on crypto. It's insane. Like, that's kind of what we're up against when it comes to humans already. When you got a robot in there stealing everybody's shit, like imagine how devastated the world is right now after so many people lost their money. Like 560 million people have used crypto and are interacting with crypto today across the world. 500 million people. That's a chunk of the economy, especially when there's a lot of rich people on there too, playing it like a casino. If you treat not really the token itself, but the community as something to grow, yes, you can grow, and it's not a pyramid or a Ponzi. That's what Pump Fund was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be a crypto market. It was supposed to be an attention market. What coins have I bought? Well, just recently I finally dedicated a dollar to Ansem, the Black Bull. It was like 2 days ago I put that in. It's like 2 or 3 days ago I put $1 in. And I was like, this is my last dollar. Okay, here. And then I pulled $5 off Atlas Earth. If you guys don't know Atlas Earth, you can get, it's like twice a month that I can get maybe $7 to $8 for that day. But I get like $16 a month from Atlas Earth. And so, yeah, I pulled $5 from that, and that's what I'm playing with right now. But basically, the Black Bull, I've been paying attention to that chart barely, and then I looked at it during this latest pull, this latest pump. I shouldn't call it a pull. And it's pulling back just a little bit. And that's why I'm jumping on here right now, is because, you go on Atlas Earth. And so, yeah, I actually also posted, I promoted the Black Bull to my call out page where there's nobody there. There's one subscriber, and that's it. If you guys want to join it, well, first of all, join my Pump Fun channel. It's at t.me/Volatile Legacy, which is the name of the game that I'd like to build. Atlas Earth is a game that it gives you $5 in Atlas bucks, 500 Atlas bucks, and that's how much, or penny. Anyway, so you go and you watch an ad, and you get 10 cents worth of Atlas bucks every 20 minutes if you'd like to go and watch that ad. At some point, once you're actually pulling in an income, you can use that income you get for every dollar. Instead of cashing it out, you can dump it back into the game for $1.25. So compounding interest. Atlas Earth is a beautiful game. Don't invest. Don't dump your money into it. It's not worth it because you got to wait 5 years to get it back. But it's something long term that you can really do, and it's a great investment of your time. Like right now, I could go and just give me a minute. I go leave for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, watch an ad. I go make 10 cents quick. But I'm not seeing it for 5 years. So that's the catch. Now, what is it? It's been a little bit glitchy recently, but basically, go back to the cryptos. I saw a couple good coins coming through. Really great narratives. Seal on Whale. Why did that die? What the hell? What is it? We got quite a few of them. Both. Like new Spider-Man movie. There's all kinds of great narratives that are coming through the grape, through the vine, but it's not catching. Nobody actually feels convicted to their trade anymore. That's what I was saying. Like, these bots are going to ruin everything. The Jito bundlers, they're going to ruin everything for crypto. It's a problem. And then the liquidity pools, that's an even greater problem. So that shit needs to stop, or you're never going to see any actual narrative take off and continue onward. You're going to see people coming in just to ruin the community. Instead, I see a bunch of trolls in there. Like Jimothy, it's a gross looking token, to be honest. I'll be honest, Jimothy is kind of like, ew. But it's still got a community that's holding. And you see somebody in the chat saying, "Oh, sell now, it's God's disgrace," or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? Why are you trying to, like, why would you even waste your time? But then I see him sneak onto his other account, and he's a holder. Like, it's insane what's going on. That's what I was telling you like weeks ago about the attention market. And I wasn't talking about Pump Fun. I was talking about like the ad space. Yeah, pools. I guess liquidity pools are the best, but you know what? You just inspired me. I'm going to be going Uniswap soon, dude. That makes more sense. Why am I wasting my time with trades? You just inspired me to go and just do liquidity pools, dude. What am I doing why am I wasting my time with the trading? I can go to the liquidity pools. I can make money that way. Okay. I'm dumb. That's where I started from. I was on, what is it, Tron Keeper? You go Tron Link Pro. So you get the Tron Link Pro wallet, you get Kraken, get TRX, and you can jump into it that way. That's where I came from. My first exchange was crypto.com, but then I went over to Kraken and I got TRX, Tron, and basically Tron did a 10x from where I had stopped. I had $30. I had $3 sitting there in my account for like, years, for a couple of years now, and the thing went 10x and I got $30 sitting in there, and that was like maybe 2 months ago or something. And I looked at that, I was like, hey, Tron did it. It made a breakout, cool. but I didn't get rich. But yeah, crypto is like a happening thing. I haven't been looking at Ethereum lately, but Ethereum is starting to get its shit together. Like there's some huge protocols getting sent. I saw one, Lighter or Lit. Thing's got like, what, 2 billion in its market? I'm like, what the, how? It's a freaking silly ass token. Why is it doing that? Doesn't make any sense to me. But there's a lot of people. There's like a whole infrastructure of tokenology going on right now that's just blowing my mind. So I'm not really playing with the coins anymore. I kind of get bored of that. Now I'm studying shit, and I'm like, oh, that's still doing that? How'd that do that? You got Katecoin kind of coming up. It's creeping up on Jimothy. I'm looking at the lore, dude. I'm looking at a history. This is how I knew about history back in the day. I was keeping up with the culture, what's going on, you know? That's how you have to do it. You gotta dedicate yourself to knowing what the hell's going on, so you at least know what's going on so you can protect yourself. I'm good at entries. I suck at exits. I'm not talking about chicks. I'm pretty good with that. Exit that shit. Anyway, I sound like so contradictory to what I've said before, but it's like, you know, there's a medium in life. You know, I think I'm ready to adventure, not settle down right now. Chicks took too long to like stop looking at freaking Jose. Like, bro, leave Jose alone. He don't want you. They don't love you. So I'm gonna get in the liquidity pools again. And that's literally just minutes ago. And DoorDash needs to give me an order. I'm bored. How long have I been standing there? What? 22 minutes, dude. I've been sitting here waiting for an order for at least a half an hour or 40 minutes. That's what I mean. I can only do this for so long before I have to go like sit down. So I also have to like look like I'm just normal out here, because like many of my customers might be driving by and they'll just like see me. That's what I have to have in mind too. So when I'm out here, I'm trying to smile to each driver, and you know, if somebody's getting in my way, I still, you know, yell at them like, "Get the fuck out of the way!" So I can act like a regular driver. But I'm more exposed out here. People can see me. If you're doing DoorDash in a car, like you at least have the privilege of your face not being seen by your customers. So I gotta smile. It's like I'm freaking Hollywood out here, man. The bugs on my face too, right? How do you do that? I'm out in front of a church right now, too. Welcome, 5 people. I only see 5 people right now. I don't know if less or more are watching. Like, imagine that. My face is like all the way out here exposed, and many of my customers see my face before I do the delivery, and I still get a 5-star rating. Like, my customer rating is 5 stars. Thankfully. I've kept that for a straight, I think, year at least. I've kept it since I got it. Like, I had it originally, and I was down maybe like 0.02 or something. It was like basically 5 stars, and then I ended up getting 5 stars again. I was like, sweet. Saying top dasher on my thing. I'm like, platinum. Back when that was a thing. Now they do it a little differently. Like they do it based on a number system. Like you got to have on time, brain fart. Basically, the number of deliveries, on time, customer rating, and acceptance rate. I've said attention so many times, so I was like reading the word in my brain that I usually do, and I saw it as like attention instead of acceptance. I don't know why. See, I'm like a robot. My brain's like a robot. It glitches like a robot. So when I tell people, I'm like, hey, stop relying on robots and trying to be a robot when a robot can do it better than you. You gotta do stuff in real life. I'm talking about from experience. You know what I mean? I'm not talking from a place of inexperience. I'm talking about like everything that I talk about is because I've allowed my brain to wonder about this or think about that. God guided me through it. So Atlas Earth, it would take you about a year to a year and a half to start earning actual, you'd be able to cash it out for like, $5 or whatever. What the strategy is you save up to 150 parcels or 149, I forget which one it is. And you just keep getting your original 30x boost. And that's when you pull out the most. You got lucky and got a lot of legendary parcels and you're earning even more. But you get free money throw to your PayPal, to your Venmo, to even a bank transfer, I believe. And you can go and get crypto with that. Multiply your earnings. So there's a free way to get involved with crypto, and just getting involved with just the attention market itself helps you understand what's really out there, where a lot of this investment stuff is moving. Like you don't have to, like I was saying with Pump Fund, you don't have to play with money to see what's on there. You're basically just making a social media profile. You create a coin. You don't have to put any money in it. I think you need like $1 of Solana to actually make a coin because you need like the deposit or something. But basically, like you can just watch whatever the other people are doing. Watch the call outs, look at the lists of the tokens. It's a whole attention market, but tokenomics. The other platforms aren't really like that. And then you have the Phantom wallet where you can actually have conversation in text on these tokens. So if you find a token within the Phantom wallet, you can talk to each other and send little gifts at each other and stuff like that. Better getting into coins with utility, ones banks would use. Yeah, that's ISO compliant. Yeah, that's where I've been headed. Like I guess blue chip. Somebody was literally telling me last night with terminology. He's like, just accumulate those blue chips. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I'm a brokey, dude. I don't have shit. I'm broke as hell. You want to donate? Cloud Ninja X, Cash App. That's where I'm at. I don't got shit, dude. But I know what's going on because I've lost my money into this space. And now I'm looking at it like there's a blue chip market that is about to explode. Somebody made a good point the other day. I'm going to get back to the other point that I was making in a second. Peanut, once it was listed on Binance, it exploded or something, right? And that's basically considered a blue chip. Now, if you were in on Peanut before it exploded and before it went to Binance, you're rich now. That goes for all these tokens. If you get a token popular enough and if you embed, protocols into it to interact with the regular world enough, then you're in charge of that attention market. All right. So anyways, there's blue chips. And somebody was saying in the chat, he's like, accumulate blue chips. And I'm like, it's hard to find out which tokens are actually worthy. Which tokens are blue chips and which are not, right? That's unfortunate, Victor. I hope that you can get through it. And yeah, that's very unfortunate. Can't get into that though right now. This is a video about cryptos, and we're going to talk about that continuously. Hopefully this will inspire you just to educate yourself and learn more and involve yourself with the world outside of that tragedy. So basically you have XRP, XLM, I don't know what that is. I know, HTH, HBAR, I'm not even sure what that is quite yet. But basically, these all are tokens and they're all part of a protocol. If you attach a protocol that can interact with all the rest of the blockchains, such as like Circle did and all these, central exchanges used or developed that technology to interact with all these tokens more efficiently. So if you get XRP, there's a strong chance that it's going to shoot up through the moon, right? But the reason why is because it's not because of the actual what it is, it's because of the people that are involved with it. So it's the community. Every time I see XRP being talked about on YouTube, XRP is going to explode. XRP is, about, whoa. Are you kidding me? 1 second, I got an order. Gotta check what it is first before I actually accept it, because no. It did the same thing, dude. It was going to tell me to go down here, grab an order, and then go completely out of the region. For how much? 75 cents to the dollar. Like 75 cents to the mile. And then I'd have to, it would equate to about 50 cents a mile at the end of it to do all that extra work. So what I was saying before is that, yeah, you got, what makes that work is the community. And that's what I'm seeing in the Black Bull right now. You gotta see my message on it. Like on my call out on it. I didn't call it out in Pump Fun. I called it out on my Telegram channel. Like I was like, this is not bot sanctioned. It's community driven as stated in the description. Like I actually gave it like a good pull on that, Sorry for my ratty fucking hair, dude. Try to be out of the way. I'm sick of seeing it because I'm like looking at myself while I'm doing this. All right, so yeah, the Black Bull is looking like it's going to the stars. So I mean, like, not financial advice. I would throw maybe, if you got $1, throw $1 at it, like I did, but don't go heavy into it. Solana saw it dump yesterday, and then it like pulled down the Black Bull for a minute, and everybody just kept buying back in. They were like, "Oh, dip," and they fucking just spray it with freaking real money. I saw that. That was community driven. That wasn't, like, that's what's been destroying the space. It's people trying to get that quick profit, and then they destroy the liquidity instead of actually creating something long term. Now, I don't know why you would destroy the attention market that badly, but apparently they're trying to make a lot of little back alleyway crevices where they can steal your money. You're basically going to let into a back alleyway if you're brand new into the space, and they're going to just steal your money. That's why I keep using the analogy, like getting brought into a Pump Fun is like getting dragged into a back alleyway and just having your shit taken. Or you walk instead of going to casino, right? You just walk into the casino, they take your fucking wallet, they kick you out, and then you don't even get to have a drink or anything, at least while they're stealing your money. That's basically what the Pump Fun space has become. It's so nasty, dude. Somebody comes on there as a newcomer, like you're not going to continue getting their money unless they're like degenerate gamblers. And that's long-term bad because you don't want your investors to be, degenerate gamblers. They're going to lose it to the competition that you're against. Why would you do that? You want like people that actually want to make a space that works out, that actually continues to grow, so you know where to go. But that's if you're a legitimate trader. If you're an illegitimate trader, you want these back alleyways where you can get your shit robbed because they're the ones doing the robbing. Most of these rug pulls are happening within a quick second. It's like, it's like 3 freaking seconds later, it's after launch, it's dead. It's like most of the tokens, right? And then out of the tokens that are decent, you're seeing another like 95% of those not making it because it gets rugged. Now they leave behind like $2,000, for the market cap at the end of the day, but it doesn't, most of it's been drained already. People are just taking the money and running. So having that kind of fear in the marketplace doesn't provide growth at the end of the day. You want to be bulls, right? But I've been making fun of the legendary bulls that need to keep stealing our pennies. All these legends. Ooh, you're a legend. Why are you a legend? Because I stole my fucking shit. Wow. Okay. That's dumb. Why? That's not a legend. That's an asshole. And that means that person's dependent on stealing. What's worse than like being a mugger and actually having to interact and put up a fight on somebody than, you know, sitting behind a freaking keyboard and going, like, how weak do you have to be that degenerate? It's like beyond degenerate. So I have, you know, faith in the crypto community. If people start opening their eyes and seeing the actual attack, they're trying to create little crevices in space where they can continue stealing from people because they're weak. See, I said it was going to be all about cryptos. Told you. This video is special. Saw Solana flatline yesterday. I'm like, this looks like Cash Cap, but it's like a main currency. It shouldn't be doing this. Well, DoorDash, give me an actual order. Like, why can't, there's 2 stores that I'm right next to. Why would you bring me 8 miles out of the way to go another 7 miles into that direction away from the store where I'm sitting? I got to call them up. I took a screenshot of that. It was $11 for 15 and a half miles all the way into another region. No, sorry. Keep dragging me to a totally different city. I chose DoorDash because it doesn't actually drag me into another region usually. But if it's going to do that, it should be paying me a premium for that. It should be making up for that in some way. So that's why, you know, better protocols over time will take over, and that's just survival of the fittest. Even when it comes to the companies, they want to have a bad business model. They're not going to survive long term. So that's why ETH, Ethereum, is going to make it. It's going to go. But all this stuff is temporary technology. We have AI in the future. We won't even need this stuff to, you know, run metadata. Like, the future of technology is going to be metadata. And I thought crypto would be, you know, fully embedded into that. Like, metadata would just work alongside crypto. I thought that would happen, but no. Everybody's treated the crypto community as a casino. That's why we're not going to make it to that point, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to ride down the street and get closer to the other store, considering I'm sitting in front of church. Kind of weird. I'm just out here. And I got a bag on. I'm like working on Sunday, sitting out in front of church. So I'm committing a sin right now, technically. It's the Sabbath day. I'm not supposed to be working. You can work, but it says in the Bible you can work if you need to. Because, you know, you don't have to survive. So don't get it twisted. Good evening, everyone. It's almost evening. Wish me luck. Hope that I get a freaking order out here. Like, I'm just sitting here waiting for the last 50 minutes now. What I can do, I can go into the store, the hardware store, and see if they got the tools that I need and get them right now. It's only like $6 and I'll be able to, you know, launch this project. But it's not being used until like, no, I didn't. Not yet. I just been sitting there waiting at the store, and it's like, I'm in a different store now. So for $6, I'm gonna be apocalypse proof. It has everything to do with currency. And no, you guys will not see. Sorry. I'm going to talk about it like, yes, success. Oh, I'm like another step forward. And you guys will be like, what is this project? People will want to be freaking like, you know, pulling me into a room, interrogating me for that shit. But basically, it's not going to apply until apocalypse hits. If apocalypse hits. Wait, is Ace closed on Sundays? I forgot. What time is it? Does it just not open right now or something? Oh wow, that's epic. Dude, hell yeah. All right, so I got a buddy. He's been making on. He's been earning on K-Coin, so that's cool. I see K-Coin creeping up, dude. I think that one's gonna go ahead and just pull right up on Jimothy. Jimothy is definitely harvested. That thing is, it just keeps dropping. But you know, you do get some good swings out of it. It's actually impressive. I think Ansem is just too bullish to be broken up. But then again, you know, it's only got about 3 million liquidity. So if that shit gets pumped out, you know, gets pulled out, I don't know what to tell you guys. One account has $100 million worth compared to the market cap. Ouch. He's gonna pull out $1 million and then it's gonna dump and it's gonna be like 30% down. That's if they don't plan on staying bullish. But it's good that the community is still continuing to push, but I hope that everybody's ready to lose a big bag. He's gonna piss a lot of people off. I hope they do it, they don't be rude about it when they do if they do. But the community itself has been incredibly strong and just committed. Some of them are like, oh, I wish I sold at 0.32. And I'm like, bro, I think it's going back up to that. So I don't think it's going to get torn back down. I think it's going to keep going up a bit. Because if they start launching on every crypto platform, which they should, then it's going to be like, it's just going to continue upwards. I see 2 billion, 50 billion. I see some massive coins out there. It has potential. Everything has potential. If they're smart about it, they'll stay in it. So, I wanted to go to casino. Yeah, that's sweet. I'm just seeing messages from both. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't go to this hardware store, but I hope that this Dollar General will give me an order. Give me a DoorDash app and do your order for you. There's like 3 people's DoorDash apps open, just like whichever one gets an order, just go do it. That'd be an interesting way, wouldn't that be? But you still have to like confirm your identity and stuff. But what people do is they'll actually like use other people's apps and they'll confirm, like choose an identity on that other app, and they'll just have that one dash, that one dash account. And that's what I called out. I was like, you know, if you can do it, then somebody's doing it. I could guarantee that it's happening because that's mathematically inevitable. So, anyways. Just random facts. I just blurt out random facts. Don't matter. I do need to get something out of here, so I might want to grab it. Anyways, crypto. After seeing these protocols like completely get smashed, the programs, the projects, they make a code and everything, and then they launch it, and they're like, oh, look what it does. Oh, that's cool. And they freaking just dump it after. Like, that kind of stuff has sowed division in the productivity sphere. That's why you're seeing meme coins pumping. Capitalize on it. It's not financial advice, but capitalize on it. I think those are just very contradictory statements. So I would suggest if you're not strapped for cash, get into the physical metals business. Learn how to divvy up ingots, reclaim metal shavings, learn alchemy, learn how to break down silver and recover it. All that stuff. Because basically, like currency, right now we have all this fake currency. This fake currency has only been prominent for like the last 6 years or so. It's been frowned upon up until then. This is a limited time event. So get back into reality and prepare for real currency again. Don't count on paper bills. Paper bills are it's just a note. Metal coins are not just a note. Ever since we got taken off the gold standard, that dollar, paper dollar, is just whatever people say it's worth. It's not actually worth what it claims to be compared to coins. Precious metals. See, my back's kind of starting to hurt me. What's happening is my back gets depressed. The spine's like depressing on itself. It's like the longer I stand up, ow. I can't just separate it. I have to lay out on the ground and stuff and do that. I'm not doing that in a parking lot. That's why I can't have a normal job. It sucks. Anyways, I guess I'll head back before I end up having the issue. I'll just throw my camera off. It's charged and ready to go. Just be prepared. Okay, if I do that. So it's going to be noisy. I'm not going to be able to read your comments for a little bit because I'll be riding down the street. But thank you for joining. If you guys want to hang out, that's cool. Probably when I get back, I am going to turn the thing off. I might have a little conversation once I get into like the golf cart cleaning area. But after that, just, my back. You know what? I think I'm going to end the live stream. All I'm doing is riding around. I'm not dashing right now because nobody's giving me a medal. I will if I find one. Talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a good day. This is not financial advice.